Hikaru Nakamura won against Praggnanandhaa. Well, that was a crazy game, especially in the time travel. So maybe you could take over the mouse and tell a little bit what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, first thing, obviously, the c5 move is, I mean, it's not something new, but it's a bit of a surprise. I don't think my opponent was ready for it. I mean, okay, it's very principled. We get to this endgame. I mean, all this is, I think this is somewhat known. Yeah, but somewhere, I think, I mean, there were many lines that I looked at. I mean, like knight b5 is only one of them. I mean, I think it's all kind of balanced, pretty much to this point. But somewhere around here, I think it starts to get kind of tricky after bishop e6. And I mean, I'm not sure if either of us played it perfectly, but I just got this sense that somewhere around here after rook d8 already, it feels like black's, I don't want to say black is better, but I feel much harder for white to play.
So how did it look for you, Prag?
Yeah, actually, yeah, this opening I should have looked at because it is something that I discussed with my second year. That we just discussed it verbally, but I should have looked at it. And then I think this somewhere here I missed this rook a6 idea completely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, somewhere I think this is probably, right here I think is probably where if white has an advantage, there's something here.
Yeah, I thought knight c4 rook c1 gives me edge, but I missed this rook a6.
Yeah, after this, I mean, it's strange because, I mean, it looks like white should be better, but it's very hard to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Then I thought, okay, I should probably make a draw already. And then I went for this 93, which I thought should be fine for me.
yeah, I mean, I spent a bunch of time on this, but I couldn't make it work. Knight c7, knight d4, rook c5, and I mean, I spent like 20 minutes looking at this one, then I'm like, okay, I couldn't find it, so.
Yeah, I
played
thought this
rook a5.
this idea shouldn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I just thought, okay, just play moves and keep the game going. But yeah, I was very surprised by bishop c6. I thought here already.
Knight c7, yeah?
What did I think here? I thought, well, I thought just knight c3 here was still completely fine, actually.
Knight d4.
Knight d4, yeah, but now rook d1, and I'm not sure. Like
Yeah.
it looks visually it looks good for black, but I'm not sure if. I mean, because where's my play? Because I can't really go after b2, and I mean e2. Eventually, you can bring the king over even, and
Looks very passive, no?
yeah, it looks very passive, but I actually wasn't so sure because a4 is also weak here. I mean, I
Yeah, I thought you can go
tell.
something like bishop b3,
Yeah, bishop b3, and then just rook e1.
b6 or something.
Right. Okay, but now it's time to try and untangle maybe.
Maybe knight e4, yeah?
Yeah, knight e4 here. Yes, exactly. Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean it's hard to judge. It looks very good for black.
No, but I thought
wasn't
this is
sure.
also fine. What I did
What
in
she
the
did.
game.
Yeah, no, I think this should also be fine probably.
No, I started to play for a win, which is a horrible decision.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, already. I mean, f4 is probably okay. I think this is probably
No,
still
I thought
okay.
f4 was good, and then e4.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should go rook c5 here
instead of king f2, you mean?
instead of knight c3.
Yeah.
I
here,
make
rook
a easy
c5,
draw,
yeah, and yeah, because probably here I have to go knight d5, and now it's probably should be an easy draw for white.
No, knight d5. I
c3.
think I can go knight d2.
Wait, what was my move here? Let me think.
I think you have to go bishop d5.
Yeah, exactly. Bishop d5 and then rook c2, bishop b3, and it's a draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
And
right.
I saw this, and I thought, okay, maybe I can try to play for a win. Yeah, and the
Mm-hmm.
tournament situation kind of so demands somewhere to score a win. But I think it was a very bad decision because after g6, I couldn't see what I'm supposed to do. I planned g4, but then now you have knight d5.
Yeah, already.
F4
Yeah. No, it's yeah. Somehow, as soon as I get this 95 idea, it's strangely. I think. I mean, I'm sure white's still okay, but it's very hard to figure out the right.
Yeah,
plan.
and then rook b1 was also another bad move.
Yeah.
Now I allow knight d5.
Yeah, now it's
You're
already
more
very
perfect,
tricky. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think maybe this is still a draw, but I mean, white's on the wrong side of this,
Yeah.
of course. Like this like takes rook b2. I mean, I still think white probably can draw this somehow.
I
with
wanted
rook
to take,
c6.
yeah. I thought you can go rook
which
b2.
one? Which one? Rook
Yeah,
b2
rook
here?
b2.
Rook b2 right away? Then knight c...
Rook,
knight c5, rook a2.
yeah,
Maybe
rook
this
a2,
is
maybe
okay.
rook a1.
Then maybe knight
still I
c3?
want rook b8, maybe.
Okay, but still no
Yeah, maybe
actual
it's not
threat,
clear,
right?
yeah.
No. I mean, it's very hard to judge, but I thought this was the last moment when it felt like it should be stable because once I get after I get this f5, now it's all because I think g4 is almost. I mean, I don't want to say forced, but it's the only way to try to not be very very passive and just. I mean, okay, maybe a computer can sit and pretend it's okay, but I mean, from a human perspective, impossible. So I thought this was the only try, but unfortunately, I mean, yeah, after FG4, knight G4, I think is only move, knight F4, and yeah, and then we get to this whole line with knight D5, and I think this is all just completely forced.
Yeah, but here I think why just go king e1? This is like
What?
instead
King
of king
E1?
e3 because after king
Oh,
e3
wow.
all this happens. So maybe king e1 was the last chance to hold.
Computers
still
are too
don't
good. King E1.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, I'm looking at it with the engine. That's why I know these moments. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, this
because
is very
after
nice.
king e3 somehow everything just works so
Yeah.
well for black.
Yeah, I mean, this whole line is just forced. I mean, you can't take with the rooks. Again, I mean, many ways to win, but probably just simply bishop
Yeah.
d5 and rook b2. And yeah, c5 I think is a very good move. I mean, rook f4 effectively loses, but it's actually the move that I expected. Because I think the only way to not lose some material here is maybe like king f3 or
it's
something.
lost, yeah.
But even this, I mean, I just go rook e6, rook d2, and I mean, no way white's going to survive this.
You know, also very easy to play for black, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Also, and then yeah, luckily, I mean, I have this nice tactic, which I think just basically wins the game on the spot with bishop a8, and I mean, white has to go knight h6, and probably I have some simpler way to win than what I did here with rook h8. But there's no need to take risk because I mean, if this endgame that we've reached here, I mean, if this endgame isn't winning, then I mean, so be it. But it feels like it has to technically be winning, and yeah, the rest I think is. And maybe there's a better way to play, but I mean, okay, I think the result is never in doubt from this point on.
Well, now you have reached the very top of the score table. Of course, some games are still going, but it looks like you'll be the co-leader probably after this round. So, do you finally feel some pressure, or or still no pressure?
Well, I mean, it's not about pressure. I think the thing is, I've had a lot of experience in this tournament, and I mean, I was saying, you know, you're just supposed to play chess, and then this game against FIDE, I decided to go crazy and try to play for the win. And I think the way you win games in this tournament is just being very solid and playing good moves and not going crazy. So I mean, I don't really feel pressure, but I think considering where I was at the start of the tournament after 2 rounds, I mean, I'm pretty happy. So it's all good.
So the best strategy is to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes rather than try to.
Well, I mean, I think everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody's nervous. There's a lot of pressure. I mean, today you could tell in all the games. Like at some point, I actually thought Jan was going to win very early on because he was way up on time at a great position, it looked like. And then Fabiano's game against Gukesh also was completely crazy. So, I mean, I think everybody's trying hard to win. And
Yeah, at some point we did actually had a really great chance in this game, but then he missed it too. So
yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, do we have the questions from the audience, from our journalists? No questions. I guess everybody's waiting for some individual interviews. Well, thanks a lot for coming and showing us this game. It was really interesting. Thanks.